Welcome to the Hippo Pod, a podcast by Golden Hippo, an employee-owned, vertically integrated builder of some of America's most popular health and wellness brands. In this podcast, we spotlight the driving force behind our company's success, our exceptional team of hippos. Through candid conversations, our hippos will share their personal journeys, the lessons they've learned, and the Golden Hippo values they embody. This podcast is a space for them to reflect, inspire, and to share their knowledge with future hippos. So whether you're on your morning commute, taking a jog, drinking a cup of coffee, or maybe even applying to one of our positions, we invite you to join us on this journey of discovery. Listen in and be inspired by the stories that shape our unique and inspiring culture. Max, thank you so much for joining us on the Golden Hippo podcast.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. You just hit me with some information that I did not know about you. So I want to hear more about you. Can you introduce us to who Max is?
Of course. My name is Max. I have been with Golden Hippo for almost 2 years now. And I run internal Facebook media buying team and am also in the process of developing a YouTube media buying team. So both media buying teams have a primary goal of generating revenue through Facebook or YouTube, as well as new customers.
Awesome. Okay, so no pressure at all. That's a lot. And you've been here 2 years. I feel like you've been here longer.
No, I think May 16 will be 2 years.
Oh, how exciting. Happy early anniversary.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. Selfishly, I am just so curious to learn more about your career journey, because if there's one thing I've learned, that the Facebook, YouTube media buying world, it's kind of niche. It's in some aspect, or am I wrong? I don't know.
It is. It is some more niche than the other, but it is.
Okay. So how did you get started in this? Like walk us through your career journey.
Okay, I will try to keep the long story short.
Yeah.
Originally I'm from Ukraine. And growing up, probably under influence of a lot of American movies that I used to watch, I developed this American dream of being a successful, self-made business owner. And that dream stayed with me throughout my life. So that's why early on in my career, I went into business development, because I figured that knowing how to sell is one of the most important skills that business owners can have. And that's the reason why I spent a few years doing sales and managing sales teams until I decided that it's actually time to pursue my dream of becoming a business owner. That's the reason why in 2016, I moved to the Silicon Valley with an idea of surrounding myself by entrepreneurs, hoping that they will inspire me for an idea for my own business. And I started helping startups with business development. And I quickly realized that traditional B2B sales techniques were not as effective as I wanted them to be. So I started looking for a more efficient ways on how to help them to grow. And that's when I came across one of the meetups on which there was a guy who was basically talking about Facebook ads. And back then, I didn't know anything about it. So I was completely mind blown. And I saw a lot of opportunity in it, and I decided that this is what I wanted to do. So I started chasing that guy, and it took me around 3 to 4 weeks to make him take me on his team, within his agency. And within, I think, 4 to 6 months, I started managing his biggest clients I started managing Facebook media for his biggest clients. That's where I got most of my foundation for Facebook advertising, and later on I started doing freelancing, did pretty good. But then I also realized that as a single person and only running Facebook ads, I have only so much influence on the results that I can deliver. So I started learning about Google Ads, email marketing, content creation, influencers management, etc. And I started building my team, and soon enough I had a small digital marketing agency. So that's how I kind of managed to accomplish my dream of becoming a business owner. And most importantly, that's when I realized that my true passion is about helping businesses to grow. And that's how I developed my love to media buying.
Whoa, I'm going to need to take a moment. What a story. So then talk to me about your Golden Hippo story. So you had that background. How did you end up here?
Sure. So around 2 years ago, one of the Golden Hippo recruiters reached out to me on LinkedIn,
Mm.
asking if I would be interested helping them developing and growing internal Facebook media buying team. So during that time, I wasn't actively searching for to get employed or whatever, but I was in a stage where I was trying to understand what's supposed to be a next step in my career and professional development. So I decided, why not? And I had a call with that recruiter. I'm actually embarrassed to admit it, but I never heard about Golden Hippo prior to that. So I did a small research, and I was pretty surprised learning that Golden Hippo is one of the, if not the best and biggest player in this industry. So that caught my attention. I decided to follow through the interview process where I learn a little bit more about the company, about the team, and about the growth opportunities. So yeah, that's when I decided to join. I think primary drivers were the scale at what Golden Hippo is operating, and the fact that I would be able to work side by side with some world class media buyers, creative, basically digital marketers.
That's awesome. And I often, it's not embarrassing, that because that's a very common story, I think, for when people hear about Golden Hippo. I've heard it described as like Southern California's best kept secret. I guess now the United States' best kept secret, because we hire hybrid and remotely as well. Um, but yeah, when you think about it, when you think about how Golden Hippo is structured, when we do everything in house, and we say we do everything in house, we're not kidding. Like, I don't think there's that many companies that can say the product developers sit next to the media buyers, and then the media buyers sit next to the copywriters, and then it's like all done in house.
True, true. That's one of the best part about Golden Hippo.
Yeah. And here you are spearheading this whole entirely new function, really. And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but Facebook media buying and YouTube media buying are often one of people's responsibilities, but like the roles that you're hiring for, and you in particular, like this is the whole prioritization of it, right? Like, it's just Facebook and it's just YouTube.
Correct. Because of the scale and the ad spend that we are managing, it's difficult to do it efficiently if the person has other responsibilities. That is the reason why our media buyers are basically dedicating all of their time just to do media buying. Obviously, we are expecting them to do a little bit more of like diving deeper into the content and providing recommendations on that. But then again, the whole responsibility is manage ad spend on Facebook or YouTube.
Got it. Okay. Okay. And I kind of just gave away my next question, but the roles that you're hiring for right now, as of this recording, which is May 2nd, 2024, what roles are you hiring for?
Facebook media buying specialist and YouTube media buying specialist, and for both roles we are looking for multiple people.
Got it. Okay, cool. So you're really, it's time to build out the team.
Yes.
Yeah, cool. Okay. What skills and qualities are you looking for in candidates?
So one of the top things is experience working with higher budgets, something in the realm of $30,000 in ad spend per day plus, and experience scaling offers or products from zero to around that budget. If you're talking a little bit more specifically about personality traits and skills, I would say obviously we are looking or we are requiring person have analytical skills, ability to read, understand data, and provide actionable insights based on it. Great communication skills or experience working across different teams, which might include copywriting, creative, funnel optimization, etc. And this is one of the an additional one that we are paying a little bit more attention to right now is actually ability to understand what kind of creative converts on each platform, and a helping creative team to build it. So yeah, those are probably the main things. Personal value, I would say, is hunger for results. I mean, Golden Hippo as a company is very performance driven, and our team is not different. So that's probably one of the most important things that I'm looking at when I'm trying to, or personality wise.
That's honestly, this sounds like it'd be the perfect opportunity for the right people. And it sounds like these are roles where you could really, really make an impact. Like,
Correct. I mean, Facebook and YouTube are some of the biggest advertising platforms industry-wise. Same for Golden Hippo. And since the company is so performance-driven, meaning we have goals based on the revenue, based on the amount of new customers, and this, so media buyers for on those platforms, they have, I would say, they have a big chunk of contribution towards that goal. Let's put it this way.
yeah, a lot of responsibility, a lot of area of opportunity. It sounds like if people on your team find areas that can be improved, like if they're able to identify those areas and own those improvements, like they can make it happen.
Correct. And one of the things that I like the most about Golden Hippo is that company actually provides you with opportunities to try do things differently and try new ways or new optimization approaches. So you have way more ability to impact on results.
If I knew a single thing about media buying, I'd be really inspired to apply right now, but I don't. Well, this was very, very helpful. Can you walk me through like what a typical actually, I'm curious about you. What does a typical day look like for you?
Nowadays, each day is different, and probably half of my time I'm spending on the calls for
Mm.
different initiatives or pushing different tests that we are trying to run internally. But me, the same way as any other media buyer, we are starting our day with the first thing logging into our ads managers and trying to and checking on the results. And basically, me as well as any other media buyer would do it on a daily basis, probably on an hourly basis, simply because we are optimizing our campaigns based on the immediate results. I was prepping to answer that question for the Facebook media buyers and for YouTube media buyers, but now when you think about myself, now I'm starting to realize that my schedule has been too chaotic lately to structure it.
Oh, well, I like how this was yeah, I actually I didn't like have this listed as a question. I'm just curious to like learn more about you because you seem like a really interesting person.
No, and again, yeah, so the primary responsibility is to making sure that we are driving results. But usually, my main responsibility lies at anywhere. First, my main first responsibility is supporting my team and making sure that I'm creating an environment for them to succeed. Based on that, I would say second responsibility would be to trying to drive different initiatives or different tests. I don't want to give any of our secret sauces away or any tests that we are running, but yeah, in order to make it happen, each department has their own goals. So sometimes it might take a little bit of time, like to kind of be a champion for that initiative, going and having conversation, trying to get people on board. So that's probably what takes a lot of my time. And honestly, the third thing right now would be hiring,
Okay.
like doing recruiting, spending a lot of time on calls.
So you're slightly busy. Sounds like.
A little bit.
Uh, can I ask, how do you seem like a very driven person, like, which is really cool it's like very refreshing. How do you stay motivated? How do you stay inspired? Like, do you grab inspiration from other parts of life or have there been books that you've read? How do you stay motivated?
I think it's a combination. Plus, I think it's the way we were raised in Eastern Europe. Like our parents used to give us really high standards to strive for. And again, like I feel like I'm still pursuing that American dream. But honestly, like what I'm driven the most is seeing results, and even more than that, seeing results accomplished by some of my team members. Like just recently, I think around 30 days ago, one of our internal Facebook media buyers broke the ad spend record within the 7 days. So that was really, really cool and amazing seeing them succeeding, like understanding that you can be, like a small part of that success.
That's awesome. Yeah, it sounds like you're a really great leader. Like the fact that you get motivated by seeing other people's successes. I honestly, it sounds like you have that drive just embedded in you. Like, yeah, it was how you were raised. You've experienced so
Yeah,
much.
and I feel like this is an important trait for anybody in this industry or this vertical, because a lot of media buyers, they're just getting excited seeing, like when they can spend more or producing better results or improving their ROAS. And when you are seeing that, it actually motivates you to, like keep going and setting higher goals.
Yeah, absolutely. And you touched on this, but Golden Hippo is so data driven, and it like and I'm more of a I am a support function. I'm not a revenue generating person at this company. But man, do I feel like after our Tuesday all hands meetings, I'm like, whoa, how can I help? What do I need to do? Like, there's so much inspiration and motivation that comes with seeing those numbers fluctuate and like really wanting to make a difference when it comes to revenue and impact.
And I feel like everybody was in Golden Hippo are making a difference. Sometimes it's easy for media buyers to be like, hey, we have the highest impact on results, but usually it's not. It's not always the case, because it takes a lot of other teams, creative, offer management, CRO, etc., in order to make it happen. I'm not even touching on product development and customer satisfaction.
Yeah, exactly. It's such an interesting place. It really is. Um, so I've learned so much about you, and I think this was like a really I'm glad we had this conversation, even outside of the podcast. But for our listeners who are interested in possibly applying to a media buying job, whether it's the Facebook ads role or your YouTube ads role, which I think is where it's labeled as like a senior YouTube ad specialist, I think, right now. How would you describe your management style? Are you like hands-on, hands-off? What does that look like?
I would say it's adaptive. I'm trying to adjust to specific media buyer needs. As I've mentioned, I do believe that my main responsibility is to creating an environment that will help them to succeed. And I also believe that there is no reason of behind hiring smart people and them telling them exactly what to do or micromanaging them. That's why usually when we're hiring new media buyers, so during the onboarding process or first 3-4 weeks, I'm making sure that the person understands the way the company operates and how to function within the company, as well as that person understand our media buying strategies and tactics and can apply them. But after the onboarding process is almost like a requirement for the person to try something new or try different approaches and bring something new to the team. As long as you're able to generate results, that's what counts.
Mm, I love that. Yeah, you sound very adaptable, like a mixture of what's needed. And I totally agree. If we're hiring experts in their fields, seeing what they have to bring, like just let them fly and see if it generates anything. Hmm,
Yeah,
cool.
and I feel like I've learned more about this management style within Golden Hippo.
Hmm.
That's why I love this company.
Yeah, well, I love to hear that. And then my final question for you, and it's pretty much what you just touched on it. But how would you describe Golden Hippo's culture to people who picture yourself 2 years ago and you were like, wait, what? What's Golden Hippo? How would you now describe it to someone who maybe has that feeling?
Hmm. Mm, I would say that we are somewhere in between of being a well-established big company and a startup. And
Mm,
primary reason is because we are operating in the industry that is constantly changing and we need to adapt. So that's the reason why we cannot build all of the processes and stick to them, because they will be always changing. So saying that, this would be a perfect environment for somebody who is performance driven, who wants to see results, who want to influence on things. And because sometimes you need to operate in I like to call it managed chaos.
I
But
love
for yeah, but also for another person, it might be, like the worst nightmare, because you might need a lot of, like somebody who needs a lot of structure or a lot of hand holding and be told exactly what to do. So, but
that.
that's the thing that I love about Golden Hippo the most, and that's what attracted me to this company first place. uh, and then after working here for 2 years, I also realized that company does a really good job taking care of taking care of employees with all of the benefits, work-life balance, ability to work remote. So that's a huge plus too.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, you have a better pulse on this, but from what I've seen, people who are applying to like the Facebook ads and the YouTube ads roles, a lot of them come from the freelance environment, or maybe you know, they're a team of one, with their own company or something like that. So to go from that to Golden Hippo that offers employer paid health benefits for employee only plans, like to not my husband was a freelancer at one point, and to go through that process of getting benefits, it's wild. It's wild.
Oh, I
So
know
like,
that.
yeah.
That's how this is the first actual job or corporate job that I got in US. So I was, yeah.
Really?
So that's difficult, like that's the reason why I don't talk about it too much, because I don't have a lot of, I didn't have a lot of experience to compare it to. Compared to being self-employed, it's difficult. The difference is drastic. I would say another big difference is because a lot of media buyers are coming from the agency world, and some of the shock for them is that they used to manage like 10, 15 offers in their own positions. And because, obviously I understand that being an agency owner as myself, you're trying, like to get the most out of each person, and you're trying to manage your bottom line. Within Golden Hippo, I would say, even though you're trying to keep balance in that, and I would say that it is more important for us that media buyers have actual time to sit, analyze what's going on, and like to think or to come up with the new strategies or optimization tactics, which you cannot do if you're constantly like managing tons of different campaigns. So
Yeah.
that's another thing that I've noticed a bunch of our media buyers were sharing, and it was a surprising experience for them.
Huh. Very interesting. Oh, Max, I think we're almost at time. I feel like we could keep talking, but don't want to take up too much of your time. But honestly, this was a very productive and inspiring conversation. Thank you so much for sharing more about your background and experience and what you're looking for when you're building out your team here at Golden Hippo. So thank you.
Of course, thank you so much for having me, and thank you for help. I'm sure that future media buying candidate will find this useful.
I think so. Thank you so much.